everyone, I'm back with another haul and I've got a lot of books this time, so I'm gonna get right into it. And as usual, I will have the timestamps below. And to start out, I have a couple shoujo series. So first, Yona of the Dawn, volume 44. Love this Hawk and Yona cover illustration. Zeno on the back. This has been a really kind of angsty arc, and I've been following the Japanese chapters as they've been releasing and being translated, and I'm so eager to see how things are going to go. I am pretty sure it's been confirmed that the series is in its final arc right now, so as things are coming to light about the dragon gods, I'm just so eager to find out how things are going to wrap up and just to see the finale. So looking forward to more Yona. And I forgot to say, this is an adventure, fantasy, historical kind of setting with romance, but it's not romance focused, but it does have romance as well. Next is another shoujo series, a high school romance, A Condition Called Love. And this is a new release, volume 14. So I got this in the mail. I pre-ordered it and it had a rip on the cover. So I was really glad when I went to the city, I was able to exchange it for this undamaged copy. So volume 14, the series has ended in Japan with volume 18. So looking forward to having this completed on my shelves pretty soon, just 4 more volumes, and we'll be caught up to the finale. So this is one that I follow the digital release, so I have read into the final volume. I still need to read the finale. I don't want it to end though, but it's a high school romance that follows these two cutie pies on the cover. I love the male lead. He is such a sweetheart. He has yandere characteristics, but he is just learning how to love, and I really like their dynamic and their relationship, and I'm sad it's going to be ending soon. Well, it's already over in Japan, but in English it's going to be ending soon. But I'm excited to see the volume 18 cover. I don't think it's been revealed yet. I think the release of volume 18 in Japan is in October, so waiting to see it. Next is another shoujo high school romance, In the Clear Moonlit Dusk, and this is one that I forgot to pre-order. This is a new release, and I actually was going to buy it when I was in this city 2 times ago, and my store didn't have it in stock, so I was super bummed. I was hesitant to order it because whenever I order matte volumes that have light-colored backgrounds, so like especially A Condition Called Love with white and matte, but then In the Clear Moonlit Dusk with this bright yellow, I was really worried it would come really dirty and just scuffed and with marks and stuff. I don't know if it happens to other people, but for me, almost always my Books A Million and Barnes & Noble pre-orders with matte white covers and then bright light-colored backgrounds will be really dirty. So anyways, they didn't have it in stock, but fortunately I went to the city again a few weeks later and it was in stock. So I've got the newest volume now of In the Clear Moonlit Dusk. So volume 8. I feel like the spine, the covers and the spines have been looking so wild with like the bright colors. Like the other volumes have like different shades of blue, lime green, but it's kind of fun. And then this one, the bright yellow and then bright blue on the spine. But I'm eager to see, like, I'm loving this story. I really like this mangaka, but I'm eager to like almost equally to see what the designs of the covers and spines will be like for the next couple volumes as well. But this series, if you aren't already familiar with it, it follows these two, this guy who's viewed as a playboy in the school and from a rich family, and he's nicknamed the Prince, and then this girl who is also nicknamed the Prince, but because of her chivalrous personality and just always unintentionally charming all the girls by doing really helpful and noble things. But then it's kind of like a first love story. She's never been in a relationship before, and then he has never been like in a serious relationship before, despite being with different girls in the past. So definitely been enjoying this one. This is by the same mangaka as Daytime Shooting Star and Tsubakucho Lonely Planet, so big fan of this one and love these kids. Next, a couple josei series. So first, Sheltering Eaves Volume 4. This is a new release. I also got this in the city whenever I picked this one up because I hadn't pre-ordered this one. I have been forgetting about series when the pre-order sales have been coming on, and I will just pre-order a bunch of things and then forget a bunch of things. So I'm trying to get my spreadsheet all touched up so that I will stop forgetting to pre-order new releases, because some of the websites like Barnes & Noble has some pretty good discounts. So if I remember, otherwise if I go in person and buy them, then I don't get as much of a discount. But anyway, Sheltering Eaves, this is by the same mangaka as Perfect World, which is a series that I really like. And then this one, I'm so excited to read Sheltering Eaves Volume 4. I haven't read this one yet. I have read through Volume 3 and it ended on a cliffhanger. So I just got this one a few days ago, and I've been trying to finish a couple longer series that I'm doing read-throughs of this month. So once I finish those, I'm going to go ahead and get right into some of these new releases. But Sheltering Eaves is an ongoing josei series that follows these two, and I actually thought, based on the premise of them both being orphaned children who grew up in the orphanage together, I thought the whole series was going to follow them as high schoolers with flashbacks here and there to their childhood, because Volume 1 starts with them in high school. But by the end of Volume 3, they're adults. So this whole volume, I think, is going to be their adulthood. And I'm really excited to get into it. I'm kind of nervous because it's been very drama-filled so far, with a lot of obstacles and just challenges that they've been facing. But I'm so invested in them being happy and them being able to just have some normalcy in their lives. So really looking forward to reading this one, and I'm curious. It's ongoing in Japan right now. I'm curious how long it's going to be, and I'm really eager to see where the story's going to go, because by the end of Volume 3, it was already past what I had expected from it. So yeah, Sheltering Eaves. Looking forward to getting into this one, hopefully in the next couple days. And then next is another josei series, but a mature, spicy one. Shindou-kun's Tight Squeeze, Helpless Against His Alluring Touch. So this is Volume 1 of a duology, and I have read this first volume already and enjoyed it. It's an office romance that follows this new hire who is a bit younger than this other office lady who has been working for the company for a while. I think it's like 25 and like 20 or something, or like 22 and 26. But when he enters the company, she's in charge of training him and is really put off by his kind of blunt and aloof personality and interactions. But then they start to bond a bit as she's training him, and she starts to see what his real personality is like and the things that he's passionate about. This is a steamship title, so when I first read it, I was expecting it to just be very smutty and without a lot of plot, because I don't know, a lot of the steamship titles have been hit or miss for me. Like, there are some that I really like, but then some that I've just really disliked. So I went in with no expectations and then ended up liking this more than I thought I would. But I'm really eager to get Volume 2 to see more of their relationship developments, and I hope that it will be satisfying plot-wise, so then I will fully enjoy it. As far as the spice is super good in this one. It is pretty spice-heavy, but the relationship bits and the plot around their workplace is pretty fun as well, so I did enjoy this one. And I don't remember if I showed the back, so I'll just show the back real quick in case you want to pause and read the premise. Next, I have Volume 109 of One Piece. So I've been collecting this series as the new volumes release, but I am following it on the Shonen Jump app, so I am caught up to the latest chapters. the Shonen Jump app does have simulpub, so whenever chapters release in Japan, within a week they're released in English on the Shonen Jump app. But I think this volume is still in Egghead Island. Yeah, Egghead. And the current chapters are into the next arc on Elbath Island. So happy to have this new volume. I love the whole backstory section with Kuma and just about his history and Ginny and Bonnie. But probably not going to read this one for a while. The last 3 years I have done full read-throughs of One Piece on leading up to Sanji's birthday. So I have read over 100 volumes of One Piece annually for the last 3 years. But curious how long this series is going to wind up being. I think the current chapters are into like volume 113 or something. But I love this spine because it's like pale pink. It's so cute. And then it has the darker pink and purple. But I love the singles for One Piece. I love how colorful they are on my shelves. So always really excited when I get a new single volume to just put it in and kind of mix in the next color. But if you don't know, I didn't say anything about this series, but I feel like everyone knows about One Piece. It's a shonen adventure series that follows pirates that, as they go to different islands, are meeting other pirates and having to deal with the government coming after them. I actually have been, as I've read One Piece and kind of been a part of the fandom and watched theory videos and stuff, I've been so impressed with the storytelling and the writing. It is so intricate, like things from early in the series, like over 100 volumes ago, things that were like little details, coming back 100 volumes later and having a lot of relevance, as well as just some of the really serious themes that, again, are just really relevant modern day, like some of the arcs having heavy content about human trafficking and slavery, some of the arcs really focusing on government corruption, but all written in a way to appeal to, like, this is a shonen series, so to appeal to teen boys, but super impressed with the overarching plot and then the different themes that the mangaka has written into his story. The next one is it's a new release. I'm a bit late to pick it up though, but I just saw it for the first time when we were at the bookstore. I hadn't even heard of it before, but volume 1 of the Hitman Stans. It's a seinen comedy series, and I typically don't buy new series until I've read them first, or at least previewed them a bit. So I saw this one and it appealed to me immediately. I really like Hitman and Assassin and just kind of criminal themed stories. And then this one was a comedy on top of that. But so rather than just buying it blind, I stood in the aisle and read like a third of the volume. So I still need to read the rest of it. But what I did read, I thought was really funny. So the story follows this assassin who is a huge fan of an idol, but feels a lot of guilt when he goes to her shows and wants to support her, but just feels dirty and feels guilt over his profession, and then going to see her at meet and greets, and he like doesn't want to touch her when he's like having the opportunity to shake her hand. So he decides to retire so that he can be guilt-free as he supports her. So as expected, things come up, and I'm excited to see like how the comedy goes as it continues. I think in Japan 3 volumes are out and it's ongoing. So I hope it continues to be funny and doesn't start feeling repetitive. But the Hitman Stans, looking forward to reading the rest of this one. And then the whole rest of this pile here is all one series. Oshinoko. So this is one that I read a few months ago. My library had all of the volumes, so I did a binge read of the volumes that had been released, and then I, after catching up, read through to the end of the series of fan translations to make sure that I did in fact really like the story so that I could start collecting it. I'm someone who will like hate a story if I don't like the ending, so that's why I typically do not just blind buy series until I've read through them before. And then when I buy them, it's because I intend to reread them in the future. But I had been intending to pick up this series after reading it. I loved the ending. I loved the story. Aqua's my favorite character. Since reading it, I have picked up the art book and the anime guidebook. I do have a few merch items already for the series, but I was waiting to pick up the actual volumes themselves until there was a good sale, and Books A Million had a pretty good sale recently. It was 25% off, and then I also had an additional 20% off coupon that I was able to use on top of that. So I picked up all the volumes that were out, 1 through 10, and then I have the next couple pre-ordered. But this series, in case you haven't read it yet, follows... Well, it doesn't follow this idol, but the story is about this idol who has a teenage pregnancy and has these 2 kids. There are some supernatural elements, but after these kids start growing up, they enter the entertainment industry, doing acting jobs. Ruby wants to be an idol like her mom. I really like a lot of the side characters. This is one of my favorite arcs with the mangaka who's having her manga adapted to a stage play, and just kind of the drama around that and the conflict and how everything is resolved was really fun. The scriptwriter for the stage play was one of my favorite characters, like my favorite side characters. So Aqua is my favorite, and then Gotanda is my next favorite. And then I forget the guy's name. The scriptwriter that is working on the adaptation. And I love everything that has to do with these twins, especially when they're little. They're so cute. But I recently watched the anime too. This spring or this summer. Really liked it. Can't wait for the next season. I'm like dreading the one volume, the upcoming volume that is green, because it's going to just make this look crazy on the shelf. And volume 10, another Aqua cover. Love him. So I don't love the the aesthetics of the spines, like white, 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 black, black, white, black, pink, white. And then there's like a green one incoming. Like if there had been more black ones, like a black one right here, or like a pink one here, I feel like it would look a lot better, but whatever. It's done. What's done is done. The series is already complete in Japanese, so. I almost, after reading it, thought I might not want to collect it because I didn't like how the spines looked, but I just really liked the story, and I am going to reread it in the future. The next couple of items are fan-made projects. So first is a fanzine that we got recently, so Tender Memories, the Cloud and Tifa Zine Volume 2. So a fan project for Final Fantasy VII that is entirely Cloti art and stories. So I did, by the time this uploads, I will have uploaded a YouTube short that shows some of the merch that we got along with this fanzine. So some postcard prints and stickers and a standee. But I am not a gamer at all, but my husband is a gamer, and I know all of the storylines and characters from watching him play through the games that he likes, and this is one of his favorite gaming ships, so I'm glad that we found out about this in time during their leftover sale to snag a copy of it. And I'm kind of bummed because it says volume 2 on here. I wish there was a way to get a hold of the first one, but we were too late to it, so if I ever see one secondhand, I'll probably pick it up, but for now, we'll just be happy with this volume 2. Next, I have a big ol' stack of Doujinshi. So recently I made a couple orders from Mandarake, and we were able to get these, predominantly KakaIru zines, but also a couple ZoSan, not zines, Doujinshi. So when I got these, I immediately did a story on Instagram. So I'll go ahead and play those where I talk about each one a little bit and show the cover and back cover of each one. So this is my DJ haul this time around from Mandarake, and I'm so happy with everything I've just finished, flipping through everything, and all of the art looks really cute. But this is the DJ that set off this order, because I had gotten this part 1 in my last haul, and I haven't read it yet, but I'm pretty confident I'm going to like it because I really like the art style, and I love modern AU KakaIru and cafe themed. So can't wait to get into their story and just the coffee shop vibes it's going to have. And then this was a cover buy because look. Excited to read this one. Another cover buy. Actually, most of these are cover buys. And then this next one is an anthology of novels. And this one is a part 2 of this one. Well, it is part 2, but this is just the first collection and the second collection. And this one, I think if I read it correctly, is all Omegaverse series. So not going to get to this one for a while because I want to read all of these ones first, but it's all text, so it's going to take me a really long time to read both of these. And then this one is a body swap. So it's pretty thin, but I'm excited to read it. I flipped through it and it looks really funny. And then this one was another cover buy just because the front and back cover were so cute. But I was hoping, since it's a log, that it would have a lot of art in it, which it does. And I thought this page was so cute. Baby Iruka as a little cat. So cute. But this one has a lot of comics too, but then also has some color pages. So looking forward to getting into this one. This one's another heavily novel content, but it does have a couple comics. But this was another cover buy because they're so cute. And this one, another cover buy, but I just loved the art on the cover and then on the back cover. So precious of them when they're little. So really excited to get into all these. For my ZoSan DJs, I just got these two, and I'm so happy. I've been searching for this one for a long time, and I finally found one that is in super good condition. But this is by the artist that did Candy Color Paradox, and she's a big ZoSan fan, so she has a ton of DJs, and this is one of her anthologies. I do have 2 of her other anthologies and then a few single DJs from her, but I'm really excited to have this one as it has a pretty good size collection in here. And then this one was a cover buy just because Sanji looked cute, so gonna get to this one soon. It's pretty thin, but happy to have this one now. Happy that I found these ones, excited to read them, and excited to get them into my Doujinshi collection. I have a couple more BL titles. First is the series Takeoff. So I am really looking forward to getting the 2 season 1 volumes that are going to be releasing in September. I had no idea that this series was getting an English print release until I started seeing on Instagram some of my friends were posting about the collector's edition that I didn't know about because I wasn't on the artist Patreon. But the artist has a shop where they have a lot of merch and art for sale, but they also have these 2 NSFW zines. So they're just self-published comics of spicy parts of their story. And there's a 3rd one that's on the way. I'm hoping that it's going to be part of the September shop update. But because I missed the collector's edition and it's sold out, I'm waiting again till the shop update to pick up the season 1 volumes. It's been a while since I've read this series, but it is free on Tapas. It follows these two guys and how they meet on a plane, but then they are attending the same university. This one is older and does some student teaching, whereas he is a bit younger. But I believe that season 1 of the main story is not spicy at all. And then I think season 2 has some mature content, but then these NSFW zines are super, super smutty. But again, looking forward to Zine 3. I did read these immediately upon receiving them, and they were fantastic. Also, with my order, I picked up these 2 prints. There was one more I wanted, but it was sold out. So again, with the shop update, I'm hoping to pick it up. But I love series with crime elements. So then this art of the main character with a tattoo, and just, it was called Noir Andrew. So had to pick this one up. And then I also am a huge fan of domestic fluff themes. So this one I had to get as well. So just these 2 for now, but planning to collect the 3rd zine and then the first 2 volumes of the main story for season 1. Next is this BL collection, Nights, and it's by the same mangaka who did Twittering Birds Never Fly. I'm a big fan of their art style and their stories that I've read so far. And I didn't realize that this collection, so this is a collection of unrelated stories, but I believe some of them have dark elements with crime. But I didn't realize that this was a hard to find one-shot until one of my friends picked it up recently from a secondhand find. And I think it was the same week that she found her copy that I was in the city, and I just was browsing through my local secondhand store and saw this on the shelf. So I just immediately snatched it up. I think I've read a couple of the stories, but I don't think I've read the whole thing. So I'm looking forward to reading it soon. But glad I found it, and I'll be able to add it to my crime shelves in my collection. I'll put this up in case anyone wants to read the blurb. And then one danmei volume in this haul, and it's super exciting. I mean, I'm excited about it. But I was able to find a pre-order copy of Guide on How to Fail at Online Dating, Volume 1. So I was late to this. I missed the pre-order window, and Volume 2 came up for pre-order, and I immediately ordered. But then I found out that the Volume 1s, after release, were not going to have the foiled edges anymore because the foiled edges were a pre-order bonus. So I was really disappointed because Volume 2 is going to have the metallic edging as well. And I was like, I don't want to have a regular one and then a foiled edges one. So I had pre-ordered Volume 2, and I was just thinking, well, maybe I'll just wait and see if someone unhauls their copy and then I can pick one up down the road. But then there was a distributor that posted on social media that they would have some extra copies after they fulfilled their pre-orders. So I was watching the alerts, and I just was really desperate to snag one of those extra pre-order copies, and I managed to, and I'm really glad about it. So I got a copy with the metallic edging. So this series is by the same writer who did Limerence, which is a university romance series that has a lot of gaming content and some esports. And this is another gaming series following university students. So I'm excited to read it. I really, really liked Limerence, so I'm hoping I will like this one as well. But as far as the release, the book has a dust jacket, so some different, not different art, but just a different design on the book itself. But their other series, Limerence, was published by, even the book cover has the edging. It's so cool. But the author's other series, Limerence, was by the publisher Via Lactea, and then this one was by Haitang. So curious when I do read it to see about how the translation is and just the feel of the book, how it differs, but just really happy that I was able to snag this one. So this one is going to be 4 volumes, and I haven't met the characters, so I don't know who's who, but I assume this is the main character since he's on the cover of volume 1. But the main character is seeking revenge on behalf of his cousin against another gamer. So his cousin had a romance with a popular gamer, or I don't know if he's a popular gamer, but just a gamer who is pretty good at gaming. And so the girl is hurt by him, and so he wants revenge. So he is trying to catfish that other gamer to get revenge. And I'm actually just going to read the premise because I didn't feel like I did a very good job explaining that. When the main character's cousin is left brokenhearted and cyberbullied out of the MMO game 9 Heroes due to her online romance with top player Yearning For is his name, I guess, the main character swears revenge. He may not be strong enough to directly kill Yearning For in-game, but leave him brokenhearted and broke. With the help of a top-notch voice changer and female character, he should be all set. Unfortunately, he is a stoic man who seems impervious to his flirting and cute stickers. Such an annoying scumbag, not at all like the kind, quiet IRL person who saved main character's life, even if they seem to share the same voice. Okay, so the main character seems to know this person IRL, which seems to be a trend in the university set gaming danmeis that I've read so far, with Limerence and then also Year 2 OP all kind of have similar premises, or at least similar settings. But then I'm excited to read this one because I really loved Limerence and I really loved Year 2 OP as well. So I'm expecting to like this one too. But so in addition to this volume and the pre-order benefit of the metal edging, I also got a few little extras. So first, this holographic sticker. And I probably wouldn't use this sticker for anything, and I don't want it to like fall out, so I might stick it inside the book somewhere. But I think it's the same. Yeah, it's the same as the little back cover art. And then this little print that has the main characters with like a pixel art. So I assume this is the main character in his like girl character, and then this is the this is the terrible guy that he's trying to get revenge on. And then an ID card. Yeah, so this is the main character, Jing Huan. So yeah, he's the one on the cover then. Oh, it's the same art too, it looks like. Oh no, he has headphones on in this one. And then I think the second volume has a pre-order benefit with the other character student ID maybe. I'll put up on the screen what the pre-order benefits are for the volume 2. So these are the 3 that I got. I didn't get the merch bundle that came with the acrylic stand because, like I said, I got volume 2 pre-ordered before I knew I could secure volume 1, and I didn't want to just have half of the connecting standees, so I just got the volume 2 with the regular pre-order benefits without the stand. So then when I got volume 1, I got the regular with pre-order benefits without the standee. But then in addition to these, because I ordered from Yiggy Bean rather than like Barnes & Noble or Books A Million or directly from Haitang, the publisher, I got this little stamp print holographic of the main character, and it says it's a Yiggy Bean exclusive. And I saw that the volume 2 is going to have one of these as well with the other characters, so excited to have that. I love just, I'm such a sucker for little extra prints and just little bonus items. So really looking forward to getting to this. I almost wanted to just start reading it as soon as I got it, but I might wait until volume 2 ships to me when the pre-orders come in so that I can just read volume 1 and then right away get into volume 2. So looking forward to this one a lot. So that's it for my manga, danmei, and doujinshi. But I have one more item, and it is this huge, thick, deluxe collection. And it says the complete fiction. So it is a complete collection of H.P. Lovecraft and his works. So it says the complete fiction, so I don't know if he has nonfiction. So this isn't everything, or if this is everything, but this is a Barnes & Noble exclusive. But here, I'll just flip through the table of contents. So I'm not a horror reader, and I'm not really like a big sci-fi reader. So I would have not been inclined to get this, but my husband really wants to read some of his stories. So this is the writer that the character in Bungo Stray Dogs, Lovecraft, is based on. And I think that his most well-known stories are like about the Cthulhu. I think he has like a whole collection of Cthulhu stories. But this will have all of them. But yeah, supernatural horror. So I'm definitely going to read the introduction to just learn about the man himself, because I am so deep in Bungo Stray Dogs, and I just love learning about the people that the characters are based on. So yeah, it has this little tassel bookmark, but it's just such a nice release. So we actually had been looking for which collection to get for my husband, because he wanted to get into some of this writing, but also have it on his shelf. It's going to be on my shelf because I'm the one that has the Bungo Stray Dogs collection. I have 2 shelves of like the Yen Press release of the novels and manga anthologies, but then I also have my BSD lit of like Fukuzawa, Mori, Oda, Dazai. So this is going to join that collection, but my husband is going to view it as his because it's a special little deluxe thing. But we had been doing research about different collections, because if you don't buy the right one, if you just buy any collection and then it's missing a story, so then you buy another collection that has that missing stories, you end up having collections that have like overlapping titles. So I'm glad we found out about this one. It has the complete collection of his fiction, so we're able to have everything. And I think we found a spreadsheet that showed like which collections had which titles, and I think it might have been like poetry. All of the poetry was excluded from this. So I don't know. I mean, this is hefty. This is a lot. So I'm pretty happy with what we were able to get a hold of. And the binding is pretty nice as well. So it feels pretty sturdy and secure, and the paper quality feels really nice, and then just the edging makes it feel really deluxe. So yeah, I'm assuming these are the most popular ones because they're mentioned by name. So the Call of Cthulhu, At the Mountains of Madness, The Dunwich Horror, The Color Out of Space, and more. So I think I'll let him just read to his heart's content, and then let him recommend ones that I might like, or just at very least that won't creep me out while I'm reading. So we'll be looking forward to that. Not like a high priority for me, but I'm kind of excited to add this to our Bungo Stray Dogs shelf and to learn about another character. So this is everything this time around. Lots of books. Surprisingly no merch this time, but really happy to have all of these now going on my shelves. I need to make a little section on my shelves for this series now. And then a few new releases that I haven't read yet that I'm looking forward to getting into. But I feel like I've been saying this in every new haul video that I'm doing, that just like when I get all this stuff in the mail and then like when I go on a shopping trip and then I come home with my books, I'm so inclined to just like put them on the shelf and get everything organized, but I have to just keep it in a pile off to the side. Otherwise, I'll forget what I need to share like in my next haul video. And then sometimes they sit, like these ones didn't because I got all of these pretty recently, but typically the books will just sit in a pile for a while until I feel like they've stacked up enough to be like enough for a haul video. So then by the time I do my haul video, like as soon as I'm toward the end of filming, I'm just like, I can't wait to sort all these. But anyways, hope you enjoyed watching me go through all these titles. Are there any of these that you're looking forward to reading as well? Especially these ones, I'm just so excited to get into the Hitman Stans and Sheltering Eaves, especially. This one too, but I'm going to try to be patient. We'll see if I can be patient. But hope you enjoyed watching, and until next time, I'll see you again soon in another video. Thanks for watching.